So in the final weekend of this course, you have the opportunity, and it's entirely optional if you don't have to do it, but if you feel called to, it is a very nice thing to try. And the invitation is to have a mini retreat, a day retreat. So this is one day where you're committing of your life to practice a little bit more intensively and to create helpful conditions for your practice. So what are these helpful conditions? How you set up the day really supports how much you can improve your mindfulness. And what's important is not to have too much stimulation. So stimulation can be in the form of technology, can be in the form of busying yourself with 100 different activities, reading, watching, caring for, tending to things. So we try to remove these distractions. We also try to remove the distraction of no talking. So if you're living with people, it's good to communicate, hey, until 4 p.m. today, for example, I will be in silence. I will be more with myself. This is something that's important to me. You can do that. And then we have the formal practice. So during this day, it's also very good to practice a little bit more. So how much exactly you want to do is up to you. I would recommend doing 4 hours to maximum 6 hours. 6 hours. 4 to 6 hours. This is a good time to practice, and it's not so much that you need to push yourself very hard to do it, but it's enough to start to increase the level of mindfulness, the level of concentration. So you can start first thing in the morning, you can do your first 2 sittings. Perhaps you get up at 6 a.m., you practice 2 rounds, 30 minutes walking, 30 minutes sitting, take a small break, 30 minutes walking, 30 minutes sitting. You might have some breakfast. I encourage you also to go for a walk, be outside a little bit in nature, in silence, alone, just walking, just listening, just feeling, just hearing. You come back, you do 2 more hours of meditation, you can take a break, you can have some lunch after you do 2 more hours of meditation. And there's 3 little talks that I'm going to share also, which you can listen to at the beginning, at the middle, and at the end of your meditation day. So why would we want to dedicate a day to meditation? When we practice in our daily lives, there's a certain depth that we reach. If you're practicing 2 hours, that can already be quite deep. Every day you're practicing 2 hours. But you practice, you develop some mindfulness, some concentration, and then you have the rest of your day, which is, things happen, you're busy dealing with things. Sure, there can be moments of mindfulness in there, but the mind is busy and getting pulled here and there, solving problems. When we practice more exclusively, when we give more space to exclusively the cultivation of concentration and mindfulness, there's this momentum effect which happens, this building, this accumulation of the concentration of the mindfulness. So it starts to develop more deeply. And so we get a deeper insight, we get better vision, more clear vision, and we can start to see more subtly what's happening. And often we can start to dissolve some of these tensions, some of these knots that we don't even know that we carry around, or this weight. That's maybe something's been bothering you all week. Maybe you don't exactly know what it is, but often when we start to sit with ourselves, these things are seen. And we release the craving, we release the clinging around it, bit by bit, and it can dissolve. And it's also a really good way to understand better how to practice. When you're applying the principles continuously for a few hours in that day, the places where you are misapplying the practice will start to become very obvious. It's like if we jog a little bit every day, it's good. But when we jog one day for many hours, we start to really notice when we're having bad technique or something, because that bad technique, that mispracticing, will start to show up because of the higher amount of hours spent. So it's a really good way to learn experientially how to balance the mind. Sometimes there's a lot of sleepiness, we need to raise energy. Sometimes there's a lot of restlessness, we need to increase tranquility, increase the collectedness of mind. So maybe it won't all be fun. Maybe there will be difficult times. Maybe you will sit with restlessness, with sleepiness, with drowsiness. For most of the time, it can be like this. But you are definitely going to learn something from this experience. So I really wish you the best of luck. And it's very good to communicate your day retreat commitment to those around you, and also in the WhatsApp group, if you feel like doing it. And then we will debrief the next day on Sunday when we come together for our final closing circle together.